my god. This is no. So, do you guys remember this?
Oh, you can it. You can drive it.
It was a mess inside afterwards, like mud everywhere, and in some parts, like at least half an inch thick. But you see, the experts at Toyota knew that idiots like me would do this to their FJs. So what do? They lined the entire interior with vinyl material and not carpet. So it would be such an easy task to clean the surface. And that's what I did. It was so easy to clean, but that's where I stopped, the surface. The idea of going underneath the vinyl to check and see how much mud went underneath was too much for me at the time, like physically and emotionally. Like I just wasn't ready for it. I was scared, but I've changed 3 years later, and don't ask me how, but I have finally decided to get to the literal bottom of this and see just how much mud and damage was done to the FJ when I did that mud dunk. Don't go anywhere, because I am honestly as anxious as you are to see. But also, it's spring, and who doesn't want to do a deep clean of their car after the harsh and salty winter so that they can feel like they're driving a brand new car in the beautiful spring summer breeze? No, just me? And now is a good time to bring up our video sponsor, Simonized Platinum, found exclusively at Canadian Tire. For those of you who don't know, Canadian Tire is one of Canada's true staples. With over 500 stores across Canada, they have a huge assortment of products within the automotive, hardware, sports, leisure, and household sectors. And this year marks their 100th anniversary. I honestly find myself going there at least once or twice a week. And I'm not exaggerating. They didn't tell me to say any of this. Everything in this video is of my opinion. None of what I say reflects upon Simonized Platinum. I'm not associated with them in any way. They're just sponsoring this video. Honestly, if they hadn't reached out, I wouldn't be here digging underneath the vinyl to check out the FJ's damage. So thanks guys. Here we have an assortment of their Simonized Platinum lineup of products and cleaning supplies. And I think I have everything here and more to get the job done. I am ready, or as they say, my body is ready. Let's get into it, shall we? So a majority of the mud came in from the back door. I mean, all of the mud came in from the back door. So the mud actually came in from this side here and then tracked all along the seam all the way to the front. So I'm guessing there's a whole bunch of mud that's just under this flap here. You can see here on the box where the mud came in, and I tried to get most of this mud off, but you know, like I just couldn't be bothered to get into the pores and clean it out. Yeah, that's the outline. It was pretty sizable amount, and some started leaking into the box here as well. Now I'm gonna open it up and let's see how bad it is. I've actually never done this before, and I was kind of like nervous as to how many steps it was gonna be, but I looked it up online yesterday and it was so easy, as all things should be. So you guys know the drill. If you can help me increase the likes, comments, and view duration on this video, we can get it recognized by the YouTube algorithm, and it will be sent out to more people. For this video's question, I want to know how clean or dirty you keep your car. I like to keep the inside of the car clean so that it feels like I'm sitting in a brand new car every single time I drive. Is this you, or do you do it differently? Let me know in the comments below. Now, just a quick 30 seconds here for me to thank my Ko-fi supporters. Ko-fi is like Patreon, but unlike Patreon, Ko-fi does not charge a 5 to 12% commission on the donations. Ko-fi charges 0, and that's why I use them. So a huge shout out to my No Don't membership tier subscriber, Cali Boyd GX. who, as legend has it, once won a game of Connect 4 in just 3 moves. Also, a shout out to my other members, Alex, Adrian, Nathan, Jade, Wade, and Jessica. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. If you guys want to support me as well, check out my membership tiers at the link above or in the description below. All right, let's get back into it. So I got as much as I could remove on this side without actually tearing the car apart. And take a look at the damage. I was really surprised. All right, so we're starting from the back here. See all this mud here that's been just sort of lodged against the wiring and dried, and it's just basically dirt. Got a nice healthy layer of dirt, and it all seemed to sort of congregate in this little corner. Oh, this is such a mud hole. So you can see actually how high the mud came. It's about like a solid 4 inches into the car, up on the wiring here, and same on the wall up here. And then you can see this big pile just built up. Oh man, that's thick. And then all goes down this way into that area. And let me just show you from the other side. Surprisingly, the entire middle part is clear and it was protected by that foamy stuff. And I am really happy about that. It's got all the mud that was trapped and just stopped the mud from going any further. I have this nice caked stuff. So I got to clean that off. From the back of the trunk over there, it all came this way. And under the lining, you can see here, under the lining is all this mud. Oh my God. And it made its way all through this channel. It's just so much dirt that's just lodged into here. And I'm sure there's some underneath in there too. Oh yeah, it's all in the wiring. If you take a look at the side panel that I removed, this was the part where the trunk goes into the back seats. So it actually came pretty high, like it's splashing on this foam here. And take a look at all this mud. Whew. So if you were ever wondering what the inside of your FJ looks like after you go into a swimming pool and water gets in, well, here it is. It's not too bad, but I'll also say this. If it was anything other than just mud and you don't clean it out right away, I would have had a pretty big problem. So say you sat in the ocean for a little bit longer than expected and water came in and you didn't deal with it for 2 years. All this here would be rust. So make sure you're not an idiot like me. If anything like this ever happens to you or your FJ, clean it out right away. You're gonna save yourself a whole bunch of headaches down the road. Let's get this cleaned up, shall we? I have a whole lineup of this Simonized Platinum cleaning stuff and it's gonna help me do the job. Oh, also, look at this tool dolly creeper thing. I didn't expect it would be this useful, but you know how you normally have just about 1 million tools and 1 million fasteners when you're doing any sort of job? This thing keeps it all in place and it slides, it moves, it's got handles everywhere. It actually made this job so much easier. so every time I clean these headlights, my reaction is the same. I'm just in awe of how shiny they are. Like, I've had cars that look like this before, and it's true, you can get them to this state, and it's not hard at all. Just a little bit of, you know, patience with a drill, and you can get there. Instead of, you know, having to buy a new car because your car has headlight cataracts. But yeah, so the car's all clean, all the mud from inside was removed. Simon Eyes had this antibacterial cleaning spray which should have removed any mold and bacteria that could have been growing in the car. And I was also really impressed with the organizational ability of the power washer. All the loose parts mounted right to the unit. And so at the end of the day, these Simon Eyes products here worked well, and now I have a freshly cleaned FJ. So yeah guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this journey of trying to figure out how much mud was in the car from the time that I drowned it. Luckily for me, it was just mud, albeit very dirty, but no rust at the end of the day. And so I don't have to worry about the body rusting out in, you know, the near term. And again, a big thanks to Simon Eyes Platinum for sponsoring this video. If you like what I do here and you like my other videos and the adventures that I go on and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. Make sure to like this video as well. Leave me a comment below. How dirty is your car? And do you clean it often? Because I know I do. So that's it. Thanks for watching guys. A lot more great content on the way. I'll see you in the next one.